of Skibidi Multiverse just dropped, and it literally blew my elite clock mind. We finally got to see the so-called counter-titan mentioned previously in the special episode. And like this reveal wasn't enough, the unexpected happened, and the scientist toilet betrayed his mistress. And the toilets are just simple pawns. But before we get to that, make sure to like and subscribe to help me rizz up the purple woman. Anyways, here we go. The episode starts off with the POV cameraman on the battlefield in a ruined London with another armed cameraman. It looks like the battle here was a total massacre, you can tell by simply looking at the many cameraman bodies lying on the ground. Shortly after that, a big black toilet appeared out of nowhere and spotted them. Things were about to get rough for them when a big horde of toilets attacked them. The cameramen pointed their guns at the enemy and wiped the whole toilet squad out. But just when it looks like things were starting to get good for them, a giant heavy-armed toilet scientist teleported to the battlefield. Our POV cameraman and his companion were no match for that big menace. They rushed to the nearest building and hid in its remains from the giant scientist toilet as he got his head to the ground and searched for them. But lucky us, just before he was about to find our POV cameraman and his friend, he got hit with a blue fire attack, and a camera drone was now on the battlefield. To have a better view at the upcoming battle, the POV was switched to that of the camera drone. Of course, it was no mystery who saved our heroes from the old fart. It was no other than Titan Cameraman. And look at his new clean equipment. All I can say is that he will surely give the toilet scientist a run for his money. The most intriguing part of this new equipment was the weapon attached to his right hand. It actually looks promising, but the giant toilet scientist was not impressed. In fact, he arrogantly smirked at the Titan's face, thinking he could take him. And the fight between the two began. The giant toilet launched a missile at him, but the blue Titan dodged it with his left-hand shield. But the scientist doesn't waste any time as he fires another one at the Titan's face. Titan Cameraman wasn't impressed. This time he caught the missile with his right-hand weapon before sending it back to its rightful owner. The old fart took it right in his nerdy face. Turns out the new weapon was in fact a powerful super magnet. After that, the giant scientist toilet got really angry and fired 4 of his 5 yellow lasers at Titan Cameraman. He blocked it just in time, but the Titan was in serious trouble. So he used his new toy, summoned a magnetic ball of metal scraps, and launched it at the toilet scientist's face, once again stopping his attack. But here is a cool detail. At first I thought that Titan Cameraman used metal scraps from the battlefield to form the magnetic orb, but he didn't. If you pause the video at the right moment, you can clearly see that he created it with his new weapon. So this new toy can also absorb metal in order to use it later. Right after hitting the toilet scientist with his new attack, Titan Cameraman began counterattacking and assaulted his opponent by giving him 2 swings back and forth of his iconic giant hammer. And just before he could take any more damage, the giant toilet scientist hit the Titan with one of his yellow lasers in the face. After that, he used his own magnets to steal Titan Cameraman's hammer and launched at him. The Titan was able to dodge the hammer and pointed his shoulder gun at the toilet's head, but he sadly forgot that magnets can also pull object closer. But thankfully, just before he was about to get one in the lenses, the hammer stopped. It was Titan TV Man coming in clutch to save his homie. Things weren't looking good for the giant toilet scientist. There was now 2 Titans on the battlefield. But just as the 2 versus 1 was about to begin, the mysterious leader of the toilets, the purple woman, arrived. And trust me, no one is happy to see her spawn out of nowhere, not even her allies. As soon as she set foot in London, she looked at the giant toilet scientist and told him with sarcasm that he is getting better at this. The unhappy toilet started to talk and wave at her without stopping. Now I don't understand the Skibidi toilet language, but we can safely assume that it wasn't very nice. You can clearly tell by how the purple woman reacted, and also said that he was starting to forget his place and also becoming bald and arrogant. Shortly after, she mentioned the Titan drill man and called him hopeless as he was holding back. And this revelation is no minor detail, trust me. The simple fact that he is holding back means that he still cares for his friend in the Alliance. This also means that Dom Studios is trying to foreshadow his return. And with the special scene released a few days ago in the Season 7 special, could this mean that we might finally seeing the future all 5 Titans united and once again fighting together? I can't wait. But let's get back to our topic, shall we? After telling the giant scientist toilet that it is better to keep Titan Drillman on their side, the purple woman said that she didn't actually need the giant red Titan. But what happened after that was mind-blowing. We finally saw the purple woman's master favorite toy, the Counter Titan. He was terrifying. Just look at his hand compared to the building. Notice how small the building looks next to it. That thing must be colossal. We could also see for a second from his POV. All the Counter Titan could see was the Titans. He must be some kind of obsessed psychopath. That thing was such a monster that even the giant toilet scientist couldn't believe his eyes. But what happened after that was what truly shocked me. The purple woman's orb that she holds in her hand destroyed by a familiar yellow laser. It was no other than the scientist toilet. I have never seen anything like this before. The giant toilet scientist actually betrayed his mistress. The purple woman was in shock. After shouting at the old fart, he left with the rest of the toilets. All that was left on the battlefield were Titan Cameraman, Titan TV Man, the evil purple woman, and of course the new enemy Counter Titan. After the toilet scientist left, the purple woman came back to her senses and revealed that betraying the toilets was her plan all along. In fact, her and her master's plan was to get rid of all the species anyways, including her allies, the Skibidi Toilet. And that's where part 1 of this episode ends. This episode looks promising. Part 1 contained lots of cool, shocking revelations. I wonder if part 2 could be even better. We finally got to see the Counter Titan that killed all of the Alliance's Titans in an alternated timeline. He really looks promising. And let's not forget that the toilets betrayed the purple woman. Could this mean there is a chance to see the toilets and the Alliance working together to take her down? And who is her master? Only time could tell. We have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want me to magically appear.